You really want to know?
Yeah, I really want to know. Ask me.
Do you really?
Yeah, ask me. Are you ready for some football?
Ah, freaking traffic. Used to be a red light on a car meant something. What do we got?
Robbery.
Smash and grab?
Well, it's messy, but I think some planning went into this one.
What'd they get?
2 football games.
2 what?
2 football games.
Jen, do you hear the words coming out of your mouth, huh? How does one steal 2 football games?
Andy, I don't know, but I got a ton of eyewitnesses telling exactly the same story. Some said there's even a videotape of the crime.
We have the tape, and the evidence is overwhelming. The Eagles stole a pair of games from the Giants 1 year ago. The initial heist came in mid-October when the Giants held a 9-3 lead with just 1 minute 52 seconds left in the game. It's there to the end zone. Touchdown by James Bragg. The Eagles swiped another in late December, scoring 10 unanswered points in the final minute 49. The dead toss.
Did you hear what I said? They got it on tape.
Yeah, I heard what you said. Is this the evidence?
It's just a cheesesteak sandwich.
No, this isn't just a cheesesteak sandwich. It's a Philly cheesesteak.
Are you ready for football? Put the pedal to the metal and somebody's fear. Tonight the NFL kicks it into high gear. The Giants put the cast on winning spell. The Eagles are primed to ring New York's bell. You better sit back, strap in and hold tight. It's always full throttle on Monday night. Come on and get it. Come on and get ready. Are you ready for the football? A Monday night party. It's the Super Bowl season. We're gonna rock it. Players at the ready, Alan John at the mic. All my ready friends are here for Monday night.
A crisp night in Philadelphia. As you look at downtown Philly, temperature 51 degrees. A few miles south, down Broad Street to Veterans Stadium. The end of an era. The 32nd season for the Eagles here. Their last. It's the last Monday night game at the Vet. They'll move across the parking lot to their new digs next year. And out onto the field come the Eagles to meet their arch nemesis, the New York Giants, on Monday Night Football. Al Michaels, John Madden, Melissa Stark, welcome to Philadelphia. Well, the Eagles have looked great at times this season. Come off a big win last week against Tampa Bay to lead the NFC East with a record of 4-2. But what do you make of a team that loses to Tennessee and Jacksonville? Still 4-2 on top in their division. And facing the Giants, huge game for the Giants tonight. They're 2 games back if they lose. They're tied with Philly if they win. They come in with a mark of 3-3. They have been unbelievably inconsistent. And John, what do you make of a team that is scoring only 14.3 points per game, 3rd worst in the league at this point?
I think what you just said, Al, is inconsistent and generally inconsistent offensively, more specific. Once they get inside the 20, it seems that, bad things happen to them. And I don't know if they're a good team that is playing inconsistent, or maybe they're just an inconsistent team. But I think they're going to find out a lot about themselves tonight offensively, but it all starts with the offensive line because they have to protect Kerry Collins. Kerry Collins is going to have to make plays, but I'll tell you, the Philadelphia Eagles always and are going to give them a heavy dose of blitzing.
No question, Jim Johnson, their defensive coordinator, loves to do that. As far as the Eagles are concerned, when the season began, most people thought the Rams were the best in the NFC. They're not right now. So who's the best? Can it be a team that through 6 games has lost to Jacksonville and Tennessee? Can it be the Eagles?
Yeah, I think. I mean, you don't get any prizes for being in first place at Halloween, but I think that, you can be in the top. And I think that's where the Eagles are. If you have, a group in the top, a group in the middle, a group at the bottom, the Philadelphia Eagle team is on the top. And last week, Deuce Staley ran, and they ran the ball a little. I don't think that's really the Philadelphia Eagles. The Philadelphia Eagles offensively are still Donovan McNabb, and defensively, they're still a aggressive blitzing team.
McNabb always a treat to watch, as is Michael Strahan, who'll be matched up tonight with tackle John Runyon in the game within the game on Monday Night Football. Tonight's quarterback comparison is brought to you by McDonald's. Terry Collins has thrown all of his team's passes over the last 2.5 seasons. His lifetime record as the Giants starter is 24-21. Donovan McNabb is the type of quarterback who figures to become a regular at the Pro Bowl. In addition to his 12 touchdown passes, he's run for 4 more.
You got a book, you're in luck. There you go, now you're getting it. We should take this act on the road. Maybe not.
Get a delicious Big and Tasty or a McChicken sandwich for just $1 every day at McDonald's.
Hamburger.
I don't know if anyone's seeing this, but the key to this whole game is spaces and punctuation count. Don't count the first episode. Then, 5th place first, 9th first, 5th, 7th, 4th first, 2nd, 7th, 5th, and 2nd places in order. I'm gonna have to disappear for a while. We are all being manipulated. Keep up the fight. Good luck.
John Madden's video game analysis is created with Madden NFL 2003 from EA Sports. If it's in the game, it's in the game.
Only on Monday Night Football last week in Pittsburgh, that's the way Jerome Bettis and his pals warmed up before a big win against Indianapolis. Who'll be the star tonight? Might it be Michael Strahan? Might it be Donovan McNabb? Big NFC East rivalry. Giants, Eagles on Monday Night Football. Kickoff when we come back.
I don't think there was a question of whether we were getting good advice or not from our old broker. We weren't getting advice.
My old broker. Unless I called him, he would never call me.
For a lot of years, I just tolerated that type of treatment, and then I decided I would move my money to Schwab.
This year, investors moved more than $30 billion to Charles Schwab.
I think Charles Schwab is actually almost the opposite of a Wall Street firm.
They treat me with respect.
Well, I think they just get it.
Come see why there's never been a better time for Charles Schwab.
ABC Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia sold out. 32nd and final season here for the Eagles. The Giants come into this place for the last time, barring a playoff appearance. And let's go down to the field. Melissa Stark with Coach Jim Fossil of the Giants. Melissa?
Well, Al, the Giants certainly struggling on offense. Only 3 teams are averaging fewer points per game. Jim, what did you do during the bye week to try to correct that?
Well, Melissa, we had to work on our run game. We needed to get our run game going. That'll help us in the red area. And then don't allow for penalties down there. That backs us out of the field goal range and takes away from touchdowns.
You did something on Saturday that you've never done. You and your entire coaching staff left in the middle of practice. What was the reason, and how did the team respond?
Well, I told them that we were practicing like we expected to be mediocre. We don't do this to be mediocre. We want to win. And I did it. It wasn't a ploy. It wasn't anything else. And they finished practice the way I thought the leadership should take over. And I think we're ready to play tonight.
All right, have a great night.
Thanks.
All right, Al, well, Monday night has not been kind to the Giants, especially when they play the Eagles. They've won once in 6 tries. That was 30 years ago.
30 years ago, and this place opened up in 1971, last Monday night game at the Vet. Andy Reid, in his 4th season now as the Eagles head coach, took his team last year to the NFC Championship game where they were beaten by the Rams. Can he make one further step this year? Fireworks going off. Temperature 51 degrees, and Matt Bryant, in his first year with the Giants, he was a pawnbroker for the past couple of years in Texas, sends it in the direction of Brian Mitchell from the 3. And the venerable one brings it back out to the 26-yard line. That's where the Eagles will set up shop with this offensive unit.
Donovan McNabb, Syracuse University.
Deuce Staley, South Carolina. Cecil Martin, Wisconsin.
Todd Pinkston, the University of Southern Mississippi. James Thrash, Missouri Southern.
Chad Lewis, BYU.
Trey Thomas, Florida State. John Wellborn, University of California.
Hank Fraley, Robert Morris.
Jermaine Mayberry, Texas A&M Kingsville.
John Runyon, Michigan.
And the guy who'll be looking through Runyon's face mask all night, Michael Strahan. McNabb going to the air on first down, going deep on first down, and incomplete. Good coverage that time on James Thrash. And Will Allen with the coverage is also a marker down.
You know, and Michael Strahan almost got Donovan McNabb on that play. Just as McNabb was getting rid of the ball, Strahan hit him.
Bill Carollo is the referee.
There is no play prior to the snap. False start. Number 83, offense. 5-yard penalty. Replay first down.
That was Jeff Thomason who was moving, so it's first down and 15.
Watch Michael Strahan here. We see John Runyon coming out to block him. Strahan has great leverage. You see what he does? He gets underneath the shoulder pads. You see him underneath there, and then he gives that move and lifts him right up as he goes by him. That's not the way John Runyon wanted to start. That's not the way that Donovan McNabb wanted to start. That's not the way Jeff Thomason wanted to start, nor Andy Reid wanted them to start.
Strahan, 22.5 sacks, an NFL record last year, 3.5 this season. To the ground, to Deuce Staley, to the chorus of Deuce, and they serenaded him with that chorus all last week. Close to a first down, 14 yards. It'll be second down and 1.
Yeah, and that's what all offensive linemen want you to do. You know, Andy Reid, the first play, he calls a passing play, and Strahan gets there. The way to calm down a pass rush always has been a run right at him, make him hang in there, and play the run first.
Eagles 5th in rushing, Giants defense 3rd against the rush, and Dorsey Levens, the ex-Packer, picks up the yard to move the chains. First down, Philadelphia. Here's the Giants D.
Michael Strahan, Texas Southern.
Cornelius Griffin, Alabama.
Lance LeGree, Notre Dame.
Kenny Holmes, University of Miami. Brandon Short, Penn State.
Michael Barrow,
Miami.
Dhani Jones, the University of Michigan.
Will Allen, Syracuse.
Sean Williams, UCLA.
Omar Stoudemire, Fresno State.
William Peterson, Western Illinois.
Allen and Peterson, good corners. McNabb, as he can do so beautifully, so efficiently, so effectively, and so dramatically to the 25-yard line of the Giants.
And as you said, that's where he's so dangerous. You say that you have to contain him, and you usually think of outside. Don't let him get outside, but you can't give him any lane. Watch on this one. He's just going to find a lane right up the middle. Now, he's always looking to throw the ball, but if you give him a lane to throw it, he'll throw it in that lane. But if you give him a lane to run it in, then he has the option of either throwing or running. You see that lane right there? No one kept their lane assignments, and they gave a great big hole to Donovan McNabb.
38 yards, second longest run of his career, back to the ground, and Staley can't get on track. Hit in the backfield, first by Cornelius Griffin. It'll be second down and 10.
Yeah, I think we have to mention right here that the Giants are playing without Keith Hamilton, who tore his Achilles tendon in their last game. They had a bye last week. It was 2 weeks ago now, and every time that I ever saw the Giant defense play, you know, the line, when they dominated, it was always Michael Strahan and Keith Hamilton doing the dominating.
Now they have Lance LeGree taking over for Hamilton. Johnny Lynn is the defensive coordinator, taking over for John Fox, who became the head coach of the Carolina Panthers. Second and 11. McNair checks off, and the Eagles move on the left side. That's Trey Thomas, the Pro Bowl left tackle, moving.
Big old lineman. Once you get down there, you can only sit so long.
Prior to the snap, false start. Number 72, offense. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
Didn't it seem like McNabb was up there for a long time, like he was going up and coming back, and old Trey Thomas was in that stance and said, I know, you know, my clock is about to go off and I have to go here.
I'm sure he was thinking to himself, you can't audible on me now. I've got to go.
I've been up here long enough. We got to start playing some football here.
Second down and 16, 3 minutes into the game, opening drive of the game. And it is a screen that is nearly intercepted into the gut of Michael Strahan. And Strahan, angry with himself, and then will put his shoe back on for what should have been, in his mind, an interception.
Well, you know, it happens is watch John Runyon. He's going to try and cut Michael Strahan here. See, that's what you try and do to get the defensive ends hands down so you could throw the screen over him. You see, he cuts him, but Michael Strahan knows that. He goes down, and then he bounces right back up. That's why he's such a great player. I mean, I would think if I were going to try and do those things, I think I'd do them away from Michael Strahan.
Definitely. 3rd down and 16. Fake to Dorsey Levens. McNabb buys time. Scrambling. Looking downfield. And then he'll just throw it away. So he throws it away, and that will set up a 50 or 51-yard field goal attempt for one of the best place kickers in the league, David Akers.
Well, that's just, they've had enough of Michael Strahan, so they're going to keep their tight end, Chad Lewis, in there, and they're going to double team him, and then they're going to bootleg to that side, trying to find a lane to throw to the backside. There was no lane there. There was no one open, but they did double team Michael Strahan.
David Akers has not missed a kick. He is 12 for 12, 50-yard attempt. And the left footer will miss. Started out as if it was going to be good, and then it just hung and came up short. So he misses for the first time this season, and the Giants get the ball at their own 33.
I see linebackers blitz, cornerbacks too, cartwheels and splits, and foam-fingered fools. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I see guys who kick, and girls who cheer, picture in picture, and ice-cold beer. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world.
Just breathe. Just believe another day. Just believe. I'm used to it by now. Just breathe. Just breathe.
Going down. Top level chunky marinara. Next 3 levels, cheese and toppings. Ground floor, golden and flaky crust.
If you're tired of wimpy, paper-thin pizzas, let us take you to the next level with the new Chicago dish from Pizza Hut. Level upon level of our most tantalizing ingredients, piled so deep, you're gonna need a fork. Go deep.
Going up.
ABC's Monday Night Football is being brought to you by Madden NFL 2003 from EA Sports. It's in the game. Dr. Pepper and your local Dr. Pepper bottler. BU, nothing's better, Dr. Pepper. Mitsubishi Outlander. Prepare for what's down the road. Are you in? And Coors Light, the official beer sponsor of the NFL. Cold down easy. Aerial coverage provided by Southwest Airlines. Giants have it. Their first offensive play from their 40 to the 42 is a 2-yard run by Tiki Barber. Southwest Airlines providing that shot into Veterans Stadium, home of the Phillies and the Eagles in '71. Eagles move across the parking lot next year. The Phillies play one more season here, and then they move into their new park, also across the parking lot in 2004. Ron Dane is in the backfield. They give it to the Heisman Trophy winner from Wisconsin. Picks up about 3 as we take a look at the Giant offense.
Kerry Collins, Penn State.
Tiki Barber, UVA.
Charles Stackhouse, Ole Miss.
Amani Toomer, Michigan.
Ike Hilliard, Florida. Dan Campbell, Texas A&M University.
Luke Pettigrew, Notre Dame.
Rich Sloybert, Western Illinois.
Chris Bober, Nebraska, Omaha.
Dusty Ziegler, Notre Dame. Mike Rosenthal, Notre Dame.
3rd and 5 right now. Jeremy Shockey, the Giants rookie tight end, is active, but not in the starting lineup tonight. In uniform, 3rd down and 5. And the pass is incomplete. Falling down was Tim Carter, their number 2 draft choice out of Auburn, and maybe the fastest Giant in years. Jim Fossil said the fastest he's had since he's been with the Giants.
You know, and that's what the Giants have always needed. You know, you have to have something that doesn't let defensive coordinators sleep at night, and that's speed. And the Giants for years haven't had the guy that really scares you. And the last few years, the only guy the defensive coordinator will talk about being afraid of is Tiki Barber.
Matt Allen is the Giants punter. Brian Mitchell, more punt return yardage than anyone in NFL history. Still dancing, still showing the move that brought him to that level. And he gets tackled up at the 18-yard line by Dhani Jones. 4:40 into the game in Philadelphia. 0-0.
Just breathe. Just believe. Another day. Just believe. I'm used to it by now. Just breathe. Just breathe.
There's a light in your soul. Says you're one of a kind. Don't never let it go. Be original, an individual, like Dr. Pepper. Be you, do what you do. Dr. Pepper. Be you, do what you do. Nothing better. Be you, do what you do.
Here's an idea. How about integrity?
Tell the truth. That's easy. Just give it to me straight.
All we're asking for is a little honesty.
You know what we deserve? Accountability.
These days, I need integrity.
I'm an investor.
I'm an investor.
So as an investor,
I have to be able to trust you.
At the New York Stock Exchange, we agree. So do 2,800 of the world's best companies that meet the highest standards. So every shareholder can invest with trust and confidence.
I think I deserve that.
On Halloween, nothing scarier for a dad than his daughter's date.
I think you should wear a bikini and go as hot.
8 simple rules. Then, there's something in the attic. It's waiting to strike. It's Jim? Or is it? It all starts Tuesday at 8/7 Central on ABC.
No score in Philadelphia. The Eagles are backed up after the punt at their own 17-yard line. The Eagles have had a lot of long drives this season. They've had 19 drives that have started inside their 20 and scored a touchdown on 7 of them, and that's the best rate in the NFL. So here they are from their 17 with all of their weapons, and they begin on the ground. They begin with Staley, and Staley picks up about 7 to the 24, where Dhani Jones makes the stop.
You know, in the way that Michael Strahan started, he was raising havoc with this Eagle offense. Maybe they decided, let's go to the other side. Here in the first play of the game, he puts Donovan McNabb down. Then they decide they're going to throw a screen pass over him, and he just knocks the ball down. Then they decided, if we're going to throw it, we better double team. And that's exactly what they did on that last third down play.
Second and 3. They send Staley in motion. They pitch it back to Brian Westbrook, a rookie out of Villanova, picked in the 3rd round and picks up the first down.
You know what they're doing now? They're running away from Michael Strahan. And then the other thing we're showing here, here's what they have to do, is they have to double him. If you put a tight end out there, then that widens him out. And that makes him take a wide route so that you can throw the 3-step drop. Now the 5-step drop, you keep the tight end to the outside, you keep your tackle running to the inside, and you get this type of thing. That's what they did on the last series, and I think we're going to see more and more of that tonight.
Will never escape their attention. First and 10 from the 33-yard line, and Drew Staley picks up the yard up to the 34, second down for the Eagles, who come in after that win against Tampa, and then next week the Philadelphia Eagles.
Well, Andy Reid calling the plays. He has the first 15 scripted. He said he's going to have more run. Usually he'll pass 60% of the time and run 40%. That's balanced, Andy Reid. He said in this game he wants to start off with a little more run.
Eagles next week to Champaign, Illinois to take on the Bears, as that pass is incomplete, intended for the fullback Cecil Martin, with Dhani Jones, the linebacker, draped all over him. So 3rd down and 9. Donovan McNabb just redid his contract I mean, they throw all kinds of numbers out and all this 12-year deal. Well, you know, it's a lot of money and a long time. It's as simple as that.
And I think it just proves how many franchise quarterbacks are in the NFL. And Jeffrey Lurie there, the owner of the Eagles, decided that Donovan McNabb is his franchise quarterback, and he wants him as long as he's going to play.
3rd down and 9. McNabb steps up, slings it to the outside. Looked like lost control of the ball as Dorsey Levens was the intended receiver. 4th down.
And that's exactly what happened. That ball did get away from him. Watch Michael Strahan here, and you can see John Runyon start on him. Then Dorsey Levens is going to come over and help right there at the end. In fact, on that one, it was Mayberry kicking over the right guard.
Sean Landetta, who is about as old as dirt, kicking to Delvin Joyce, but still as effective as always, as the 40-year-old sends one to Joyce for the fair catch, and the Giants will get it back with 8:17 left in the opening period.
Well, see you going again. What could you possibly want? I thought that we could be friends, but now I know it was a front. Yeah, I'm alright. It's just the way that I was out. I'm trying to make it in this right, but I'm receiving no help. What you say, whoa, you say yeah. Throw your hands in the air. What you say, whoa.
Pepsi Blue, fusion of berries with a splash of cola. Pepsi Blue, it's a blue thing.
What am I looking for? A lot of things, really. Athletic, good looking, a nice body with her. Stylish, for sure. And none of this taking it slow stuff.
The 250 horsepower Chrysler 300M with a race-inspired suspension and the most powerful V6 engine in its class. It has everything you're looking for.
I've always had a thing for power.
Now from Chrysler, our 7-year or 70,000-mile powertrain limited warranty, because love is a commitment.
There's something wonderful about a hamburger. It's one of the few things that brings so much joy. Made fresh, hot off the grill, all juicy and delicious with fresh toppings so it tastes great. It lifts your spirits and makes everything okay. That's the kind of hamburger we make. Wendy's Classic Double with cheese. It's better here. And our pickup window's open till midnight or later, so you can eat great even late.
Are you ready for some football?
Next week we go to Green Bay. The Packers had the bye week. Brett Favre is on the mend against the Dolphins. It is still anticipated by the Packers that Brett will play. Actually went down during the bye week to Mississippi. He's being treated at Southern Mississippi. Goes back to Green Bay tomorrow. They'll examine him, and we should see him Monday night.
And yeah, I mean, if you know Brett Favre, there's no way that he's gonna miss a game.
1st and 10 from the 20-yard line as Barber takes it to the outside and picks up just one. And let's take a look at the Philly defense.
Brandon Whiting, California.
Corey Simon, Florida State.
Darwin Walker, Tennessee. Hugh Douglas, Central State University.
S. Barber, University of Richmond, VA.
Levon Kirkland, Clemson.
Carlos Emmons, Arkansas State University.
Troy Vincent, Wisconsin.
Blaine Bishop, old school. Brian Dawkins, Clemson.
Bobby Taylor, Notre Dame.
2nd and 9. Halfway through the period, we still do not have a yard passing for either team. Stillwell, as Collins throws it into the Eagle bench. 3rd down and 9. Collins has played against the Philadelphia Eagles through the years, and as you can see, John, has never had intercepted in his games against Philadelphia, which includes 6 regular season and a postseason game.
I think that the Eagle defense is so aggressive, and you know that they're going to come after you. And Gary Collins is the type of guy that isn't going to do something stupid. He'll take a sack, he'll take a loss, he'll throw the ball away rather than throw an interception. You don't get a lot of first downs that way. You don't get a lot of touchdowns that way, but you don't throw interceptions.
Still looking for the first completion of the game for either team. Still don't have one. On 3rd down, pass intended for Amani Toomer. So in this pass-crazy 2002 season, Collins starts out 0 for 3. McNabb starts out 0 for 4.
Yeah, and the early part of this, you know, is I think both of these quarterbacks are a little nervous, a little antsy, a little jumpy. and I think the defenses early are dominating. So it's part them not being in any kind of rhythm yet, and they're two pretty good defenses.
Each team has had the ball twice. Matt Allen to boot it. Short kick. Mitchell's going to let it bounce. And then it skids out of bounds at the 38-yard line. With 7:23 left in the opening period at Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia. Eagles with the ball. No score.
Thanks.
Come back again.
Here we go. Get the action going.
About time you got a new TV.
Don't even start with me.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Folding seats, loads of space. If you love it, Chrysler T3 Cruisers got a way to hold it.
$10 is not going to fit. It's going to fit.
I am Emmett Smith. I'm Emmett Smith.
I'm Emmett Smith.
I am Emmett
Smith.
I am Emmett Smith. No, really, I am.
Worried that the you shopping online isn't really you? That's why there's Verified by Visa, a security service that helps protect Visa cards from unauthorized online use with a personal password. This service is only available on select Visa cards issued by participating financial institutions.
I am Emmett Smith.
Please! To learn more and to check if your card is eligible for this service, go to visa.com/verified.
Raindrops on roses and whiskers on kittens. Bright copper kettles and warm wood and pistons. Silver white whiskers and milk into spring. These are a few of my favorite things. These are a few of my favorite things.
Minnesota, Ohio State, or other regional action. Saturday on ABC.
They tell me on Halloween there's nothing scarier for a dad than his daughter's boyfriend. A frightfully funny 8 simple rules, part of Scary Tales Tuesday, right here on ABC. Trailer MVP, the Philly fans. They've been great through the years.
It wouldn't be bad, except it would have to be a weight problem, though. What's a horse weigh?
1,000 pounds.
Yeah, see, that's all we can carry on the trailers. We can cheat it a little. We can go to 1,200 pounds. That's it.
McNabb throws first completion of the game to Todd Pinkston. Donovan McNabb and Pinkston a little slow in getting up. McNabb's second overall choice in the '99 draft. That's when Cleveland started with Tim Couch. Then the Eagles, the fans wanted them to draft Ricky Williams, the running back, and they picked McNabb out of Syracuse, and Cincinnati went for Achilles Smith. And when you look at it right now, down the line, at this particular point, McNabb, the best of the three. Couch clearly second, and then Smith.
Yeah, and that's exactly, I mean, the Eagles obviously did the right thing, and then you have to have a quarterback in this league. They're going to have one for a long time.
Got a pretty good running back in Deuce Staley, just like last week. Staley is out of bounds, forced out by Omar Stoutmeyer at the 31-yard line. Last week, 152 yards on the ground. That gained 23, and the Deuce has already picked up 44 in the period.
Watch your left guard here, John Wellborn, and watch the job that he does in the green. You see, he just takes that whole side and just moves it down to the right, and then Deuce Staley comes up and cuts right off that. The other thing that helped that play was they faked the reverse. They faked the reverse to hold the backside. Wellborn on the onside makes a heck of a block.
From the 31-yard line, McNabb under pressure and gets buried. The Giants on a jailbreak, and it was Mike Barrow along with Michael Strahan who came in. We'll see how they rule it in terms of who gets the sack or if they divvy it up.
It was funny that Donovan McNabb was looking to his left, and that was the pressure when it first started, and then it came from the right and then the middle. Watch him. He's going to come back here, fake the play pass, look to the left, and then he feels the pressure right up the middle and from his right. Said here's Strahan on John Runyon again. He just goes right around him, and then that along with Mike Barrow coming right up the middle.
Each of them get a half sack, and now through the middle they hand the ball off to Brian Westbrook. Westbrook, a guy Andy Reid knew well because Andy follows college football. Westbrook played at Villanova here in town. He got to see some of his games. He said, I like this kid, and drafted him.
Yeah, we talked about John Wellborn on the last play. Watch center Hank Fraley and Jermaine Mayberry, the center and the right guard right here. You see that block right there? Fraley, the center, stays with hit guy, you know, the old body-on-body, hat-on-hat type of deal, and Westbrook runs right by them both.
3rd down and 5 now from the New York 26. Toss it back to Levens. And the longtime Packer with his shoulder may have picked up the first, but they're going to spot it just a little bit shy as Kenny Holmes stops him there, just shy of the marker at the 21-yard line.
You know, for years they never pulled the center. You always pulled your guards. Once in a while you'd pull a tackle. That time old Hank Fraley was out there pulling. They pulled both Wellborn, the left guard, and the center, you know, to lead out there. Watch this. This has to be a sight as you see these guys pull out to this side. Watch the snap, and then you see the pull. See, watch old Jiggles coming there. Jiggle, 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 and he gets here just a little late.
Well, he did. Actually, they spotted it close to the 20. They gave him a great spot, and he picks up a first down. Just outside the 20-yard line, and that pass is caught on the far sideline by James Thrash, who picked up about 8 to the 13-yard line. So Levens got a great spot to move the chains.
And Andy Reid just called a play where McNabb could move. You look in there, on his first 15 plays, he had 9 runs that got 107 yards out of it. He had 6 passes, and he said he was going to do that. He said in his first 15 it was heavy run to see what was going on there, and he looks like there's something pretty good going on there. Although Andy does have a tough time staying with the run.
Only 1 completion, though, in those first 15 plays. Staley to the outside again. It's taken down at about the 11-yard line. 3rd and short upcoming. Frank Ferreira, the end, making the tackle for the Giants.
Stu Staley was saying last week after he gained 150 yards that you know, that he thinks they ought to do that more often, and you know that more of it can go on their shoulders, the offensive line, the running backs, and take some off of Donovan McNabb. He said then he won't have to play so hard he throws up during those games. That's his goal is to play hard enough and run well enough that McNabb doesn't throw up during the game.
Where was it that Donovan threw up in, was it Jacksonville?
Yeah,
at the end of the game.
It was in Jacksonville, yeah. I mean, that was just, you know, I mean, he plays so hard, and he has, what's that thing back there? I think Andy Reid said he has a uvula that is a little shaky, and he tends to throw up a little quicker than most.
2 nice spots here for the Eagles on this drive, and that's a first down. Ty goes to the runner there with the nose of the ball, touches the stick, first down.
I like what the Eagles are doing now. You know, as you said, they were able to, you know, to run the ball, to get some things going. They only completed 1 pass, but now that they have the running game going, it's going to be easier to get to the passing.
And they love to pass in the red zone. This is where Andy Reid loves to pass.
Well, in the empty backfield, it's either going to be a McNabb run or a pass.
The pass looked like it might have been tipped and then almost intercepted, intended for Thrash, and Will Allen almost came up with the ball at the 2-yard line.
Andy Reid in this situation loves to throw on first down. He said of all the situations you have in football, inside the red zone, which is inside the 20, on first down is the best throwing down that you have. Of course, he had to throw, and he called the play, and it went right off Thrash's hands. I wouldn't be surprised if he came back with a run here.
And he does with Staley. Staley only gets a yard and a half to the 8-yard line with under 3 minutes to play in the period. It'll be 3rd down and 8 in the red zone. In his career, the ratio is close to 15 to 1, and that's the 2nd highest since he came into the league, second to Jeff Garcia.
And you know who's going to be high in that from now on is Michael Vick.
Yeah.
I mean, you talk about a guy that is fun to watch and can do so many of those things. I mean, you just get the ball in his hands, and somehow it's going to get in the end zone. Donovan McNabb's a lot like that.
He'll be high in a lot of categories. fake give to the fullback. Then McNabb is chased by Strahan, eludes him, throws, and it's incomplete. Intended for Todd Pinkston, who was covered at the goal line.
Yeah, that was the second time that they ran that play on third down. The first series they had the ball, it's a bootleg where he fakes the run to the left, and he's going to bootleg out. You see, he fakes a run in there to Deuce Staley. Then he bootlegs out here. Now, what he's looking for is a lane to throw back across the field, because he has two deep routes back across the field. They were both covered.
Now a 27-yard attempt for David Akers, who missed earlier from 50, and that had been his first miss of the season. This one is good. The Eagles have run 21 plays to only 6 for the Giants and lead 3-0.
Magnificent view.
It is, isn't it?
On November 22nd, everything you know about Bond will be turned upside down.
Let's get down to business.
Voila!
No, you're cleverer than you look.
Still better than looking cleverer than you are. Pierce Brosnan.
So I left you in an explosive situation.
Don't blow it all at once.
Die Another Day, rated PG-13. Starts Friday, November 22nd in theaters everywhere.
Please enter password. Please scan retina. Please submit blood sample. Please submit hair sample.
Can your security software protect your entire enterprise without making you jump through hoops?
Ready for that 10 o'clock, Dave?
Coming.
Ours can. Comprehensive security solutions from Computer Associates.
Yeah. I'm on a 10 o'clock flight.
Business trip, huh? Remember, you can achieve success anywhere. For example, I've called touchdown passes in all these cities.
Jerry, but I've thrown touchdown passes in all of these cities.
I was here first, Steve.
So?
You backup quarterback?
Butterfingers?
Pretty boy.
Slowpoke?
Wherever business takes you, Courtyard has what you need to be successful.
Sports analyst.
Wait for the vehicle.
Now make 3 stays and earn 2 free nights. Call 1-888-MARRIOTT. Courtyard, your Marriott awaits.
Oh.
It's a brand new Home Alone movie.
It's the burglar!
Bigger house, badder baddies.
Yes!
Bigger and better laughs. Home Alone 4, ABC Sunday at 7/6 Central.
Tuesday, you ready for Two Funny Women in One Night? Then you're ready for all new episodes of Life with Bonnie and Less Than Perfect. Tuesday, otherwise known as Mañana, right here on ABC. Michael Strahan has been on the field a lot. As we say, the Eagles have run 21 plays, so they've dominated the first period, but it's only 3-0 on the scoreboard. And now the Eagles with Akers descended down to the Giants, fielded at the 9-yard line by Tim Carter, and the Auburn speedster brings it back up to the 32-yard line. Philadelphia, the final Monday night game ever at the Vet. The Liberty Bell, of course, the primary feature. We picked up our replicas of those today, John. A little ceremony, a little pep rally downtown.
Yep, including the crack in the Liberty Bell. There's a lot of tradition here. You know, you think of Philadelphia, and you just drive down the streets, and you're in the city, and there's so much history and tradition that you felt that someplace in another life maybe you were here.
Good town. I've always loved coming here. Ike Hilliard, the intended receiver. Collins started to stumble on the way back. You know, Jim Fossa was telling Melissa at the outset tonight that he wanted to establish the run game. Well, here we are almost at the end of the first period. They've run the ball 3 times for 6 yards.
Well, they haven't established anything. Collins hasn't completed a pass yet, has he?
0 for 4.
Well, you said he stumbled on that one. He's been stumbling this whole first quarter. This Giant offense has been stumbling this whole first quarter.
2nd and 10. They give it to Dane, and he looks like he started to stumble as well. This is, I think they call this next turf. It's a different turf. They put it in a couple of years ago. Of course, this stadium is going to be imploded in a couple of years. They don't spend a lot of money on it. It looks like it's snowing or sleeting or whatever it is. But it's just ugly. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, it's ugly, but it's a lot better than it used to be. I mean, it used to be ugly, and it used to be hard, and it used to be the worst field in all of football, but this is much softer and a lot better field.
Ain't no Persian rug. 3rd and 7, and that is caught and that's a first down. So their first completion moves the chains as Amani Toomer makes the catch, and the Giants have a first down.
Yeah, and I think Amani Toomer on that play slipped. He's the outside guy up here, the flanker, and he's going to come down and run a slant right there. And just as he caught the ball, it looked like his feet just slid out. I know the Giants came here and had a walkthrough or a practice yesterday, and the big reason was to decide what footwear to wear.
From the 43, Collins guns it over the middle and hits Jeremy Shockey, the tight end, who missed last week's game with a toe injury. Came out of the Dallas game early with that injury, and he's been, of course, a source this week of controversy. Talked about the Eagles' secondary not being very good, and so he's greeted by some boos. And also, Bill Carollo now gets together with the back judge with a flag down.
And the thing that the Giants did on that play is they had a blitz coming from their right, and they picked it up. It's going to go against the Giants, but that's going to be a big test. Is if you can keep guys in, if you can pick up their blitz, then the Eagles won't blitz as much.
Unsportsmanlike conduct, taunting. On number 80, offense, after the first down, it'll be first and 10, 15 yards from the spot of the dead ball.
Oh, how much does the crowd love that?
Yeah, and Jim Fossil knows, and Jeremy Shockey's going to learn. I mean, you know, you have to play with emotion, and you have to play with, you make a play, just go back to the huddle. You know, that's all you have to do, and eventually you learn that. Now, as a rookie and the way Jeremy Shockey is, players are going to talk to him too, and they're going to start the taunt, but you can't finish the taunt. Now, that didn't look like a real bad taunt.
No. But we've seen more verbal taunts this year than ever before. This call is Barber takes off, chased by Taylor, and then forced out of bounds by Blaine Bishop. So there's the running game getting established with Tiki Barber springing loose to 31.
You know, and that's the thing that the Giants practiced on this week, is they thought, Jim Fossil thought that you could start the run to the right and there would be a cutback lane back here on this left side. In fact, we have that, you know, 7 days or whatever, or 7 days a week.
To Monday, 7 days
to Monday, yeah. And during that, they practiced on this play, and Jim Fossil told Tiki Barber, I think when we start to the right, I think there will be a cutback there.
Giants' longest rush of the year, 31 yards. End of the period. Eagles on top by 3, and Monday Night Football returns after this message and a word from our ABC stations.
Gina? You know, when I was first hired, we didn't have all these fancy integrated systems. Our sales program wasn't even linked with accounting. Warehouse platform in Chicago wasn't linked to anything, not even shipping. Back then, orders took days. Now, they just take hours.
Wow, how long have you been working here?
A couple of months now.
Oh.
With Microsoft Server software, you can quickly connect all aspects of your business. That's software for the agile business from Microsoft.
I gotta tell you, I've had some great deals come my way, but a big and tasty. For just $1, you did your thing, dog. Not that I'm calling you a dog. I mean, you're more like a big purple, I don't know what you are. What you say about my mama?
Huh? Get a delicious, big and tasty, a McChicken sandwich and more every day on McDonald's Dollar Menu.
You got a buck, you're in luck. Grimace, bump with me. What?
Are you ready for some football?
Brett Favre has Green Bay in first place. Ricky Williams steamrolls opponents for front-running Miami. Division leaders collide.
Michaels and Madden are here for Monday night.
Well, you killed it.
I didn't mean to.
Guess you didn't mean to use that cheapo antifreeze either, huh?
I just thought...
No, you didn't. Because if you had, you would have thought about the exclusive Presto dual action formula. You were just thinking about all those pennies you were going to save, which you can now use to call a tow truck. It's called Prestone season for a reason.
Can you put the top up?
You want to ride in the tow truck?
Time and temperature from Commerce Bank.
Aerial coverage provided by Southwest Airlines over South Philadelphia Veterans Stadium. Capacity more than 60,000. Downtown Philadelphia, a few miles to the north, up Broad Street. Temperature in the upper 40s right now. The Eagles, with a great running game in the first quarter, have become the first team in the league this season to rush for 100 or more yards in the first quarter. And here we are at the end of week 8.
And the Giants are in that area that they were worried about. You know, they're right there at the 20-yard line, which is the start of the red zone, and being inconsistent in this area. Jim Fossa wanting to run more here.
Starts with a run. Barber turns the corner, picks up a couple, forced out by the cornerback Troy Vincent. Makes the acquaintance of somebody in the front row. Gain of 2.
And I'm sure someone in the front row had something to say to him. You know, but that's the thing with the Giants is, you know, you talk to any defensive coordinator, and you know, like Jim Johnson, the defensive coordinator of the Eagles, will talk about the Giants. Said the one guy we worry about, the one guy that we can't let beat us is Tiki Barber, and he's the one guy on the Giants that plays all the time that has speed.
Second down and 8. Collins, low throw, nice catch. Good catch by Charles Stackhouse, the rookie fullback from Mississippi, stopping, reaching down, but a flag is down. It's against the Eagles, and that's going to be an automatic first down.
Defensive holding, and it is an automatic first down. You see Andy Reid there. He's working on the plays that he's going to get the next time he gets the ball.
51, defense, 5-yard penalty from the previous spot, first down.
Carlos Emmons. Eagles with a great running game. There it is, 116 rushing yards and only 6 yards through the air. Go figure that. First down for Collins and the gang at the 13-yard line. Barber inside the 10, stop him at about the 8, following Stackhouse's block.
You know, as I've watched the Giants over the years, I've thought that, you know, when they've had problems in the red zone, I think one of the reasons is they take Tiki Barber out, or Tiki Barber runs a couple of plays and takes himself out, you know, on a long run. I think that you know, you think, well, Ron Dane, you get inside the 20 goal line, you get your big running back in there. I don't think so. I think you keep Tiki Barber in there until you score a touchdown in the red zone all the way through the goal line.
Keeps him in here, offset on second down and 6 from the 9. Give it to him on an inside handoff, and the play is broken up very nicely by Corey Simon, the defensive tackle, to trip him up at about the 7.
Corey Simon makes that saving play, too. I mean, that's the thing, that it was a little delay, a little draw play in there. And the thing that you're always trying to stop is penetration. And you see Corey Simon get the penetration, push his blocker back, and then come off the block. Now, if you're going to be consistent in the red zone in making touchdowns, third down has to be a big down. You have to make a play here.
Third down and 5. They split Shockey to the right. That's Shockey motioning as he comes to the inside, and the pass is a quick flip to Dixon that's too low. Fourth down, covered by Taylor, and the Giants will have to settle for a field goal attempt.
What they tried to do is spread everyone out and then just get that quick slant. Here you see Ron Dixon coming in the slant, and the ball was not only thrown low, but it was thrown behind him. I mean, there was no chance at anyone catching that, including the defender, who's Bobby Taylor.
Matt Bryant played at Baylor. He was a pawnbroker. Then Owen Kochman got hurt. He got the job. Hasn't missed all season. Still hasn't. 26-yarder is good. He is 11 for 11 as they work on Shockey's toe, but the Giants have tied it early in the second quarter in Philadelphia.
So, how was Florida?
Nice.
A lot of pretty girls on the beach?
Yep.
Probably wearing bikinis, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Pretty girls in bikinis.
Right now, fly Southwest Airlines for just $39 to $99 each way when you purchase by November 7th. So get packing.
You are now free to move about the country.
Ever notice how many Ford trucks you see out there? Is it because they're so tough? Is it payload, horsepower, towing, their off-road capabilities, the Triton engines, lasting durability? Or is it all those things that have made Ford F-Series the best-selling truck for 25 straight years? Leadership has no boundaries when you're built Ford tough.
I love playing two-hand touch, eating way too much, watching my team win with the Twins. I love quarterbacks eating dirt, pom-poms and short skirts, fans who won't quit, and those Twins. And I love them. Here's the one more.
Access NFL.com to vote for your favorite NFL All-Stars. The Pro Bowl ballot is online exclusively at NFL.com.
Right here is payback from way back. I don't play. You gotta get 'em up.
In Philadelphia, Al Michaels, John Madden, Melissa Stark, Jeremy Shockey riding the bike. His team has just tied the game 3-3.
They were checking his knee a little while ago. Of course, it's his left toe that's a problem. In fact, he's wearing a bigger shoe on his left foot that it just came off in that last drive, a size 14 on his left where the bad toe is taped and a 13 on the right.
Giants, who had come to the 30-yard line collectively, then spread out, and the kick is taken by Mitchell as a penalty marker. Brings it up to the 44-yard line. In fact, there are two. There's a flag down at the 22 and there's one at the 44. We know for certain it's coming back.
Yeah, and that's the one at the 22, and that was a holding, and that was a play right where
Holding.
Mitchell broke.
58 during the return, 10-yard penalty, first down.
Ike Reese. Andy Reid was the quarterback's coach at Green Bay when he got the job here, his first head coaching job here. Of course, he was another pup out of Mike Holmgren. Somebody on that staff with Mariucci now, of course, in San Francisco. John Gruden went to Oakland, now at Tampa Bay. Andy Reid.
And they all kind of remind you of Mike Holmgren, too, don't they? You know, and
especially
Andy Reid has so many of Mike Holmgren's mannerisms. Sometimes if you close your eyes, you think you're talking to Mike.
From the 12-yard line. McNabb buys time, slings it. It is dropped, incomplete. Chad Lewis never had possession, incomplete.
You know, the one thing that McNabb likes to do, if he's going to move and scramble or bootleg, is come out to this right side. And the bad thing about it, that's the side that Michael Strahan is. But you see what John Runyon does to him? He gets him there, and then he gets moved, and then he goes down and he kicks him with that left foot. But that's the move that Michael Strahan, in fact, John Runyon says the only guy that made that move on him other than Strahan was Reggie White.
Holmes was getting face masked on that play as well. That pass intended for Thrash is incomplete. And Michael Strahan had back spasms. He was bothered with back spasms in the Giants' last game against Atlanta 15 days ago. And he's been getting therapy and rehabbing it and getting massages. And he was talking about it yesterday, saying, well, it's not too bad, but it's bad enough that he's out right now.
Well, what happened, he said, in that game, his pelvis shifted, and he was crooked, and he was kind of sideways, and then he couldn't feel his leg.
3rd and 10, and McNabb will take off. And Donovan up to the 24-yard line. And when you have Donovan McNabb, it's almost never 3rd and long in a conventional sense.
Yep, and they take Michael Strahan out, and that's right where Donovan McNabb runs. What they do is they get the end up the field on this side, and you see that lane right there? When this end comes wide, and then they pin the tackle on the line of scrimmage, there's always a great lane to either throw the ball in that lane or run it, and it was right where Michael Strahan would have been.
Frank Ferrara, for the moment, spelling Strahan. Stu Staley with some tough inside running up to the 28-yard line.
I don't know if that was the thing with Michael Strahan, is if that was the back that bothered him before, or if he got hurt on that play. He made a good move on John Runyon, and then Runyon kind of came down on him and kind of kicked with his left leg. Doesn't look like it's his back. But that injury that he was telling us about, I'd never heard of that one, where his pelvis got out of joint.
Your hip rises up. One hip is higher than the other. Levens taking off into the secondary. Tackled at midfield.
I think the Giants better get Michael Strahan back in there, because the Eagles are taking an advantage of him. I mean, that's the same hole that Donovan McNabb just ran the play before, and this time this Dorsey Levens start here and cut right back into this area. That's the same place that Donovan McNabb ran. You see right there, and then right back in that gap. They hit that gap twice. Here's what it looks like to the umpire. He sees the flow go away, and then he sees the cut back, and he says, that's way too big a lane.
24-yard gain. Now McNabb airs it out, and just off the fingertips of Todd Pinkston. What about Strahan? Melissa, what do you know?
Well, Al, he had a stinger in his left shoulder. The trainers massaged it out, and obviously he returned to the game. And also, we have an injury update on Jeremy Shockey. They were checking out his knee, as you said. They said that's fine, that he will return. What's clearly bothering him, though, is that sprained left big toe. I talked to him before the game, and he said it is hurting. I don't know how long I'll be able to play.
Well, there he is. Of course, the defense is on the field at the moment. Strahan is now back. Second down and 10. Philadelphia at the 48-yard line. 10 and a half until the half. They give it to Brian Westbrook. Chased by Holmes. Cuts back inside. And gets to the 43-yard line. Tackled there by William Peterson. So right now on the ground, McNabb has 51 yards rushing. Staley has 51. Levens has 30. Westbrook has 29. They have 4 guys with 29 or more yards rushing.
You know, and that's a good start for the Eagles, because what that means is, you know, once they get you doing that, then they get you playing run, they get you staying at home, you know, taking those cutback gaps away and doing all those things. Then you don't rush, and then the passing is going to come a lot easier later.
3rd and 5. Giants show blitz, and then McNabb gets the ball away quickly and hits Todd Pinkston, and that's going to be enough for a first down.
One of the things that McNabb is doing better this year, and Andy Reid talked about it, and so did McNabb, is being able to place the ball. And sometimes you want to place it on the front shoulder, and sometimes you want to place it on the back shoulder. Now watch on this pattern here. He's gonna place it on Pinkston's back shoulder. You see, when the defender is inside, you don't want to lead him to the inside. You want to put it on his back shoulder so that he can reach back away from the defender.
1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. Fake end around. After the fake to the back. McNabb goes by Holmes, breaks a tackle, and then gets finally ridden out of bounds at the 23-yard line by Allen.
That's where McNabb is so good. You know, that he has such a great feeling, but when he runs fast. And he runs faster than you can. Kenny Holmes is out there. I mean, he fakes that thing, then he's going to bootleg, and now he just outruns those guys. See, Holmes is there. Holmes has containment, but he's just too fast for him.
Looks like a pure running back. 6'2", 225. 3 carries tonight for 65 yards. This season, the Giants have not given up until tonight more than 113 yards rushing in a game. The Eagles tonight have rushed for 175 yards in a quarter and a half, and now add a few more as Goose Staley takes it inside the 20.
You know, we were talking about Jim Fossil and what he was saying and telling his team during practice. The other thing that he says is we have to contain McNabb. Well, every team comes in like they have to contain McNabb. And you know, that play, I mean, it wasn't bad, but he just outruns him, and he's just too fast for him.
2nd and 5 from the 19-yard line. Here is Levens to the 16-yard line. Here's what Jim Fossil had to say about what John was just talking about.
We got to contain him. All right? Don't let him out of the pocket. We better keep him in the pocket. If we don't keep him in the pocket, it's going to be a long night.
You know, that old thing of knowing what you have to do and doing what you have to do are two totally different things, aren't they?
How could he have figured that this was going to happen? At this point, the Eagles would have 182 yards on the ground and 12 in the air. 3rd and 3. Strahan can't sack him. And Donovan looking for the chain and may have picked it up.
He just looks like a kid out there playing, doesn't he? I mean, this is when you get control of a game, when you can do these kinds of things. And as you said, Al, I think the running has started it all. I mean, running has made this Giant defense get back in their heels. It made them, kind of play their gaps. And now McNabb can just kind of have their way. And again, we talk about how fast he is, but he's also very strong. You don't tackle him with an arm.
The most exciting plays, I think, John, have always been street plays. It's just a street play right there.
And a street play, and a guy smiling and having fun. And that last little kick dip thing that he made there, he just looked like that's something he'd do in the street, before you hit the gutter.
Going to measure as they have to bring the chains all the way across the field. Line of scrimmage is going to be the 13. He's got it.
Yeah, well, he knew he had it. I mean, that little move, he was looking right at the marker out there, and he knew where he had to go, and he just kind of jumped it right to that point.
Cornelius Griffin is getting the attention there. Remember, they were already minus Keith Hamilton for the season. Matt Mitrione has to come in now to replace him. Of course, Strahan has been out of the game for a few plays. He's back in. There's Matt.
Okay, the Eagles are doing a lot of damage running-wise in the middle and that left side.
Now to the right side. Saley does 4 more yards worth of damage, taking it to the 9-yard line.
You see John Runyon there, right there at the end, coming on that pile. That's the thing that the officials are looking out for this year, and they had kind of gotten into football quite a bit, and they tried to get away from it. But John Runyon, number 69, is an aggressive guy. I mean, he is going to battle you, and he is going to fight you. And he said they don't blow the whistle anymore, so you can't play until the whistle blows. So he was just out of that pit. He buried someone on his way down, too.
2nd and 6. This is the 14th play on this drive that started back at their own 12-yard line. McNabb is going to throw that one away. Everybody's covered. Pressure was on. 3rd down.
And that time they did double Michael Strahan. I mean, the Giants' coverage has really been good. I mean, there hasn't been a lot of guys open, but that time was Dorsey Levens. They came over, and they're just looking for Michael Strahan. I mean, they are going to say, okay, you started out being pretty good. Here, Runyon hits him. What Dorsey Levens does to him. Strahan is working there on Runyon, and he comes and he gives him one of those rib shots.
Griffin is back in the game. 3rd down and 6 at the 9-yard line. 4-man rush, and McNabb goes down in the grasp of Kenny Holmes, who says enough's enough.
Yeah, that's the thing. They finally got in their lanes. They didn't give him that big lane, and Kenny Holmes helped it by not getting up the field. The ends on both sides have been getting up the field and too wide and giving him that gap. McNabb thought he was going to get that gap, and it wasn't there.
David Akers 1 for 2 tonight. Made the short one, missed the long one. Contact up front. This would have been a 31-yard attempt. Now it'll be 36 yards.
False start, 74, offense. 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
So Brzezinski moving. So here are the Eagles. I mean, amazingly, this is a team that has rushed for 189 yards in less than 25 minutes and doesn't have a touchdown.
And that's the thing that really frustrates a coach. You know, as you look and we've been doing all this, we're running the ball, we're doing all these things, and until this point right here, we have 3 points.
3 points now, looking to take the lead again. 36-yard attempt. Right down Broad Street. 5:23 to the half. 6-3 Philadelphia, but they've been dominant.
If they ride smoother, if they handle more nimbly, if they fold easier, if they look like nothing you've ever seen before, that's because they all come from Ford. We make the best-selling line of SUVs in America.
What's it like being me? New Red Fusion from Dr. Pepper. It's like being the guy on those cop shows everyone's after. Getting chased through backyards with no shirt on, except I ain't going out like that. Red Fusion, boosted soda.
Can you hear me now? Good.
Making the best wireless network better never goes out of style. Verizon Wireless. We never stop working for you.
Gotta get rid of this pain fast. The moment of choice, Tylenol or Advil. Which will work better on muscle aches? Advil liquid gels work faster, stronger, better than Tylenol on tough pain. For better relief, advance to Advil.
On Halloween, nothing scarier for a dad than his daughter's date.
I think you should wear a bikini and go as hot.
8 simple rules, Tuesday at 8, 7 Central on ABC.
College football Saturday. Oklahoma second in the polls, but first in the BCS standings, taking on Colorado. Minnesota, Ohio State, Georgia Tech, NC State, and Arizona State against Washington State. That's the action Saturday, 3:30 Eastern, 12:30 noon Pacific, right here on the American Broadcasting Company. Tim Carter is back. Delvin Joyce as well. Akers sending it skyward into the South Philly night. Dropped again, and then Carter can't show any of his speed. It's all he can do to just come up with a football and repossess it. Looking for him to break one. And instead, the Giants have it deep in their own territory. 5:18 to the half. Philadelphia 6, New York 3.
We have always felt that our trucks were tougher than anybody else's trucks. I've had people say to me, I own a Ford truck, and I have 120,000 miles on it, and it's still as good as the day I bought it. Ford trucks stand up to anything you can do to them. Built Ford Tough isn't just a slogan. It's what we deliver. The people that buy Ford trucks say to us, I will only buy Ford trucks. I mean, I love hearing that.
I don't think there was a question of whether we were getting good advice or not from our old broker. We weren't getting advice.
My old broker, unless I called him, he would never call me.
For a lot of years, I just tolerated that type of treatment, and then I decided I would move my money to Schwab.
This year, investors moved more than $30 billion to Charles Schwab.
I think Charles Schwab is actually almost the opposite of a Wall Street firm.
They treat me with respect. Well, I think they just get it.
Come see why there's never been a better time for Charles Schwab.
Possibly won. I thought that we could be friends, but now I know it was a fraud. Yeah, I'm alright. This is the way that I was. I'm trying to make it in this right, but I'm receiving no.
Pepsi Blue, fusion of berries with a splash of cola. Pepsi Blue, it's a blue thing.
There's something in the attic. He's waiting to strike. It's Jim. Or is it? All new ABC Tuesday.
Saturday, the Tour Championship from Atlanta, presented by Coca-Cola. Tiger Woods will be there. Phil Mickelson, Ernie Els, Sergio Garcia, all in the field. The Tour Championship this Saturday here on ABC. Giants begin this drive from the 10-yard line. Short drop by Collins, then on the slant to Shockey. And the #1 pick out of Miami takes it up to the 21-yard line.
Okay, calm down now. Calm down. You know, that's a very fine line. I mean, you know, Jeremy Shockey is going to be a heck of a tight end in this league and a good player, and he does all these things that you want. I mean, he can play wide, he can play inside, he can block, and he can be explosive, and he's a dimension that the Giants need, but he just has to calm down. Just calm down a little after the play's over.
First and 10 from the 21-yard line. Dane. And Dane chugs his way up to the 26-yard line, gain of 5, and let's check in with Melissa.
Well, Jeremy Shockey has certainly made a lot of headlines for himself on and off the field. Jim Fossil told us he is not your typical rookie, and here's a little insight into what kind of guy he is. Back when he was in junior college at Northeastern Oklahoma, Shockey's team lost in the playoffs. And after the game, he was so mad, he was so angry at himself that he picked up dirt from the ground. He actually ate it. He told me he wanted to remember how bad it tasted and never have that taste again. John, he sounds like your kind of player.
Come on up, That's how you make mud.
Yes, you do. Dane picks up a couple. Well, who was it? It was Tim Rosevich at SC who used to eat glass.
He used to eat light bulbs. Yeah, that was a normal thing. Well, they would just grab a light bulb off and eat it, have lunch. But you know, the thing with Jeremy Shockey, you know, they say it's a turf toe, and it's really not a turf toe. What it is, it's a ligament. And I think he has a torn ligament in that left toe, and that's something that I don't know is ever going to get better this year. This may be something that he has to play with and gut out all year.
3rd and 5. Collins over the middle, deflected and dropped. It was Shockey in traffic, off his fingertips, that bounced around like a bowling ball, incomplete, and the crowd, of course, loves it.
Because he was saying that he thought that the Philadelphia Eagles secondary wasn't really that good, and they were overrated, and they're beaten a lot, but the blitz gets there, and all those types of things. And you see here, the ball is there. He almost makes a heck of a catch. Just as he's about ready to bring it back in, Bobby Taylor hits it.
Matt Allen, a short kick, bouncing near midfield, flag, and it stops at the 46. Bill Carolla will let us know.
Looks like it's against the Eagles. It was way over here on this sideline. The ball was over on the right side, and the flag is over here on this left side, so the penalty was way away from the ball.
31 on the receiving team while the kick was in the air. 10-yard penalty. Receivers to keep the ball. First down. Timeout.
Al Harris, and that's what you need after a little short punt to pick up 10 more. 3:09 to the half. 6-3 Philadelphia. They have the ball.
Raindrops on roses and whiskers on kittens. Bright copper kettles and warm wood and mittens. Silver white bleachers and milk in the spring. These are a few of my favorite things. These are a few of my favorite things.
He's on Verizon Wireless. She's on Verizon Wireless. She is too. So is he. There's over 30 million people on Verizon Wireless nationwide. And now you can have 1,000 anytime mobile-to-mobile minutes to call any of them you want. Plus get 4,000 night and weekend minutes on the America's Choice Network for $39.99 monthly access. And get a great Kyocera phone for just $49.99. So now all you have to do is decide who you're going to call first. Verizon Wireless. We never stop working for you.
Can you hear me now? Good. When people first saw the Thunderbird, they flipped. It just evokes something within you. It's clearly just a pure, flat-out emotional connection. You got the sun shining, you got the tunes blaring. I mean, it's really the essence of cool.
So long, little bird. Don't pick up any nails.
Sinatra would be proud.
ABC Fantasy Wednesday. Serena Williams is the new teacher, and juniors looking to make the score love all.
Get lost.
My Wife and Kids, 8/7 Central, ABC Wednesday.
What a difference 6 weeks make. Last time we had the Eagles, we had the cool zone on the sideline in Washington, week 2. Week 8, get the heaters going.
And there was the pepper spray over the stands into the cool zone that caused that problem with the Eagles?
Absolutely. That was week 2 in Washington when the Eagles looked so good after their loss on opening day to Tennessee. And apparently the Giants' communication from upstairs, the coach's box upstairs, to the coaches downstairs doesn't work, and if that is the case, then both teams have to take off their headsets.
That's what they're talking to Jim Fossil about now. The question comes up, though, when this happens, you have communication between the box up here and the sideline, and then you also have communication between the coach and the quarterback. Now, I don't know that all those systems are out. See, it looks like this system, the coaches in the booth down to the sidelines are out. But I don't know that you can't still use the coach to quarterback one. That happened a couple weeks ago, and it was a discussion. It looks like they're still using it. See Brad Childress to the left there of Andy Reid.
Mm-hmm.
That headset that he has is the one that talks to Donovan McNabb.
Here is McNabb throwing on first down to Deuce Staley. And gets taken down by Will Allen and Brandon Short after a gain of 7.
And that one is still working, and they can use it. So the one that they can't use is like I said, the coach is talking to the sideline, but they can use the one that is the coach talking to the quarterback. Andy Reid calls the play. Brad Childress, who's the offensive coordinator, right next to him, and he talks to Donovan McNabb.
Second down and 2 from the 43-yard line. That's caught by James Thrash at the 49-yard line. You saw Fossil with the headset on, but that shouldn't be working, since the Giants are on defense right now.
It looks like he's trying to figure out if there's someone there, someone to talk to. Again, now there's Brad Childress calling the play, and he's talking into the helmet of Donovan McNabb.
We're going to go to the 2-minute warning after this play as McNabb retreats. McNabb goes deep. The coverage is terrific, and the pass is incomplete, intended for Freddie Mitchell. So the 2-minute warning comes with a $1:55 officially on the clock here at Veterans Stadium. Typical Giants-Eagles matchup. Tough, rough, low scoring. 6-3 Philly.
The new Alcatraz. The biggest problem isn't breaking out.
What are you packing?
This.
Do you want to play rough?
Sorry, I'm not into men. It's dealing with the guys who just broke in.
Party, boys!
Why are you doing this?
$200 million worth of U.S. gold brick. What's going on? We got a problem.
Half-past dead.
That's what I'm talking about.
Rated PG-13. Opens November 15th.
Daddy?
I think it's a cocoon. One big cocoon.
Excitement has reached a fever pitch. Crowds gather, trying to catch a glimpse of the cocoon.
The cocoon, friend or foe? Go.
It's big, ugly, and different.
Oh, it's unique. It's amazing. It's very exciting.
This just in, cocoons are now being sighted across the country. And all we know is it's one big cocoon. Look out.
It's a butterfly!
It's one big butterfly, son.
Hey, how's it going?
A whole new internet service has landed. Introducing MSN 8, bringing you better email, smart parental controls, and tougher junk mail protection. It's better with the butterfly. New MSN 8.
Sometimes a boy just needs his father to show him the way.
Okay, that's what you were doing.
George Lopez, ABC Wednesday, 8:30, 7:30 Central.
So the halftime show, our feature, 7 days to Monday night. This week, all access, behind the scenes, Coach Jim Fossil.
Last year, they beat us twice, and that flipped their season, and it flipped our season. They cost us everything we wanted last year. I don't want to say that at the end of this year.
He was right, too.
You know, and of all the years and all the Eagle-Giant games that I've seen and been a part of, this is just a typical game, and you just said it. I mean, you know, they're tough, they're hard-hitting, they're close, they're low-scoring, they're defensive battles, crisp tackling, all those kinds of things. And, you know, players change, coaches change, but these two teams always seem to play the same type of game.
They do, except in this one, the one difference is the Eagles have controlled the ball. They've run twice as many plays. They've had the ball twice as long, more than twice as long, and yet they're only up by 3, and that is incomplete. Sean Williams with the coverage on the play, intended for Antonio Freeman, another ex-Packer.
Yeah, I think these two corners are doing a great job. I think the two Wills, Will Allen, Will Peterson, because there really hasn't been a lot open, especially to the wide receivers downfield. I mean, you see out here that they're just blanketing, and they're just all over the receivers of the Eagles, and I think that's been. I mean, the Eagles have been able to run, they've been able to get a few things, but I think the coverage of the Giants secondary has been excellent.
Blitz 3rd and 10. McNabb is 5 out of 17, and he slings it off to Deuce Staley. He's chased by Stoutmeyer and is out of bounds at the 21-yard line. What a play by McNabb to avoid the sack, run up, and still remain behind the line of scrimmage. It was close when he flipped the pass away.
And he kind of threw that one sidearm, and again, you can't give him a lane anywhere. And you're going to see him come back here. There's a blitz, and he's going to find that crease there. You see right there, he finds the crease. Of course, the strength gets him through the crease. Then his awareness gets him the ball and gets it to Deuce Staley.
At the 23-yard line, timeout is taken defensively by the Giants.
Nothing like the open road.
Yeah, too bad we're out of gas.
Oh, somebody's coming. Hey, buddy, how about a lift?
No riders. Not even for $1? $1 don't buy much, mister.
It does if you dial 10-10-220.
Yeah, all calls up to 20 minutes are 99 cents.
Yep, and 7 cents a minute after 20.
20 minutes or 99 cents? How about yourself a ride? You gotta sit in the back.
Great trip? Oh, be quiet.
Dial 10-10-220.
First down for the Eagles. I'm not certain the Giants didn't call that timeout to let the guys upstairs, the replay official and the observer, take another look at how close McNabb was to the line of scrimmage. The line of scrimmage was the 48-yard line. It looked like he did get it away just before he crossed the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, right, and it goes back to the ball again. It's where the ball was when it left his hand. I think it was, as you said, just before he got to the line of scrimmage.
But there's no review upstairs. It's not challengeable inside 2 minutes. As the pass is thrown into the poor guy with the marker. Oof, that hurt.
Yeah, but that's what he can do. I mean, you know, throw to the poor guy with the marker, because once you get outside the tackle box, you can throw the ball away. The poor guy with the marker's saying, "Hi, I'm okay."
Wait, a seal. Ooh, good.
I'll tell you, guys with markers aren't used to the ball, with a ball coming at him with that velocity. In fact, it looked like he put that thing up to protect himself, didn't he?
He did. It's a shield.
You weren't going to hit me.
I heard that sound. I thought for a minute, oh, no. 2nd and 10. And it was Deuce Staley picking up a couple to the 20, tackled by Brandon Short.
And we talk about how the red zone, and Andy Reid is the head coach and obviously the play caller. And he always likes to get down in the red zone and throw on 1st down, then come back and run on 2nd down. But really hasn't been successful because he's been incomplete on 1st down, then 2nd and long. Then he comes back with the run, and then he hasn't, he still gets his 3rd and 6 or 7, which is a passing situation.
3rd and 7 right here. A minute to go in the half. Good protection. Also good secondary work, and then Strahan finally tackles him at about the 18-yard line. And Michael says we'll take a timeout because we're going to conserve some time on the other side here after Akers' field goal attempt.
You know, that was a heck of a play by Michael Strahan, because we've seen where Donovan McNabb has been outrunning defenders all day. Here we see the coverage downfield, and we see that there's nothing there, that they just have him plastered. But watch what Michael Strahan does. Is one thing, he's coming on an inside stunt, but he kept his chase, and then he had the speed to catch him and then tackle him in the open field. Now that, you don't see that a lot. That is one heck of a play. Didn't Michael Strahan have a shirt on his right arm earlier? Did he get that knocked off? He had that blue shirt underneath his left arm and right arm early in the game.
Then he got the stinger.
And then the stinger must have just taken that blue thing right off his whole arm.
46 seconds remaining now with a 35-yard field goal attempt here. Akers attempting his 4th field goal of the half. Troy Detmer, the backup quarterback, to hold. And he's 3 for 4. So the Eagles tonight, 245 yards of offense in the half, yet they haven't gotten into the end zone. They settled for 3 field goals, 9-3. Monday Night Football from Philadelphia is being brought to you by Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the NFL and official airline of Super Bowl 37. Pepsi Blue, a fusion of berries with a splash of cola. It's a blue thing. Ford, no boundaries. And Coors Light, the official beer sponsor of the NFL. Cold down easy. Delaware River in the foreground. Philadelphia. Final Monday night game ever at the Vet.
You know, one of the things you say the Eagles, they moved the ball and they only have 9 points. I remember we were playing the Super Bowl, the Minnesota Vikings, and we went downfield and we got a field goal and went downfield and got another field goal. And I was really upset. We got to get in there. We got to score touchdowns. We can't have field. And Kenny Stabler came up to me and just patted me on the shoulder and said, "Don't worry, John, there's plenty more where those came from." And I think that's what Andy Reid has to be thinking. Or someone has to tell Andy Reid, if you can move the ball like that, don't worry about only having 9 points, because they could be plenty more where those came from.
2.5 times the offense, about the same ratio in terms of time of possession. Headsets are working again.
That's quite a job strapping that thing around Andy. That's a 3-man job. They had 3 guys. They had 3 guys on that deal.
You bring planes in with that deal.
Around the world in how many days?
A few. Akers to kick off. Giants have 1 timeout. Line drive fielded by Tim Carter from the 8, and he gets stripped up at the 23-yard line. Flag. Against the Giants.
Illegal block in the back. 83 on the return team. 10-yard penalty. First down.
Marcellus Rivers. In this past crazy year, I mean, to think about it, McNabb 64 yards through the air, Collins 40. 104 yards of passing offense in the first half composite.
I think that the Giants, we talk about, the Eagles being able to say there's plenty more where that came from. I think the Giants have to figure, geez, that, they did all that to us and we're only 6 points down. If we can get something going in the second half, we'll be in pretty good shape.
1st and 10 from the 11. They have 1 timeout. Give it to Barber. He's going to pick up the first down up to the 23-yard line.
Bobby Taylor's looking over the sideline to see if they want him to call a timeout, but I think the fact that the Giants got a first down, that you don't want to call a timeout if you're the Eagles.
1st and 10 from the 22. Caught by Barbara. And the Giants in a posture right now where they're just happy to go in down by 6, taking no chances. Of course, if you're the Giants, the one thing that will be forever emblazoned in your psyche is what they did against Arizona just before the half about 3 weeks ago.
Well, they just did it right there. I mean, you know, you would think that they would it would just be happy to just go in, but they threw an out there. They threw a 3-yard out.
Yep. And now they'll button it up.
And they've done that before. Now they're going to kneel down. That makes a lot of sense.
They had a pass intercepted, run back for a touchdown against Arizona before the half, and then the Cardinals wound up winning the game. A little pushy-shovey to end the first half here, but the teams will go to the locker room, none the worse for wear. And 4 field goals, 3 of them by the Eagles. All of the scoring, 9-3. Philadelphia coming up next, the Toyota halftime show. 7 days to Monday night with Jim Fossil when we return after this message from the NFL to work from our ABC stations.
Somewhere, a lion's heart beats in a man. Somewhere, a boy puts on number 22 and dreams of breaking your record. Somewhere, the writer of records is sharpening his pencil. Somewhere, the doubters are silent. Somewhere, Walter Payton is smiling.
New York City, yeah! T-Rex! T-Rex! Art! Tavern on the Green! Shopping for my children! Broadway! Go, horse, go! Go, horse!
Everyone's a fan of New York, and now's the best time to be here. So make a plan to touch down in New York this season. Call 1-800-NYC-GUIDE or go to nycvisit.com.
On Halloween, there's nothing scarier for a dad than his daughter's date.
I think you should wear a bikini and go as hot.
8 simple rules. Then, something's in the attic. It's Jim. Or is it? Then, Life with Bonnie will make you scream with laughter with special guest
Conan O'Brien.
Then on Less Than Perfect, something is driving Claude crazy.
This time, I'm taking it out on you.
You start eating! ABC's Scary Tales Tuesday, starting at 8/7 Central on ABC.
Wednesday, The Bachelor versus The Parents. It's the showdown America has been waiting for.
Nervous?
Just a little bit. The Bachelor, ABC Wednesday, 9/8 Central.
To create a comfort zone. That's why you're here. To extend its boundaries. That's why we're here. Sovereign Bank. Online or at your Sovereign Community Banking office.
All together now.
All together now.
All together now. All together now. All together now. All together now. All together now. All together now. All together now. All together now. All together now. All together now. All together now. All together now. All together now. All together now. All together now. All together now. All together now.
Make progress every day. Verizon. Cecily Tynan, Gary Papa, and Jim Gardner. Weeknights on Action News.
The Toyota Halftime Show, brought to you by Toyota. Get the feeling. Here now, Al Michaels. Eagles had the ball for over 20 minutes in the first half, yet couldn't get into the end zone. Still lead the New York Giants. Big NFC East battle. The score 9-3. We've had a lot of fun, you know, with our 7 days to Monday night feature. We featured a number of players. This time we thought we'd turn the tables a bit. Take a look at a coach behind the scenes. 7 days to Monday night with New York Giant coach Jim Fossil.
Go and stop and get a Philly cheesesteak. We're an early team. We start earlier than probably any team in the National Football League. When I get here, I want to be ready. That's why I get here, so I can have some quiet time and look everything over. And then at 11:30, the team is in, and I meet with the team. What I want to see out there today is I want to see tempo. I want us to get back in the rhythm, getting in and out of the huddle, lining up, hustling, moving around. I try to run brisk practices and hold people accountable and move the practice along.
Hey, let's go, man. It's the fourth quarter. We got to win this game in the fourth. Red area, 7-on-7 on the bounce. Let's go. Who's walking out here?
Are you ever going to practice this year?
Yeah, they'll clear me. They'll clear me.
You know, we're playing the Eagles on Monday night.
I know.
You know, they're in our division. You know that paycheck you get?
Yeah.
That's the practice. You play for free because you love that. And we play these guys twice a year. Twice a year, and you got extra time to study. There's no reason for us not to know this opponent better than anybody we play, right? You know, so much of what we do is such a grind with one another, and we're pressing all the time, and it's always business. We don't take time to just sit down and relax a minute, and I think that's healthy. You guys do it with a burger? Yeah. We win, you're eating burgers next week. I usually watch most of the Monday night game here.
Now, are you ready for some football?
When did they start with Cher on Monday Night Football? I must have missed that one. Do they have guest appearance every week by somebody?
Phil Cowher looms over the Pittsburgh skyline.
Can't argue with Cowher's record on Monday Night Football. 9-0 on Monday night. Our record isn't quite as good. We got to do better on Monday night right now. Tuesday morning, we are all in here at 7 in the morning. Tuesday is all-day game plan. I'm just looking at some of these plays that I think will work real well with them, and we ran the ball pretty well against them this game. But there's his read right there. He just focused his eyes on that. That's right there. When we're running our best, the thing is a cutback. Bring it back. Oh, bring it back. No. We stay on these guys' backside. We want you to tape light. We get that end guy cut off, which we can in this straight under. We just crave that thing down. It could go right back up the time or that safety sit. He ain't going to make the play. Generally, a staff meeting, I try to update the coaches on injury situations that I get from the doctors.
Shockey's tried running a bit, so he feels it when he pushes off. From my point of view, looking at the toe, I mean, the swelling's not bad. He's got good mobility, and I don't feel it wobbling over on the side. I think he'll make it. I think he's going to be fine. We're going to have to rest him. What bothers him when he cuts. I really think he can operate against these guys. You know, we got a better guy we've ever had. Terry's got confidence in him. Last year, they beat us twice. They played better than we did for 60 minutes. No excuses. They played better than we did. And that flipped their season, and it flipped our season. They cost us everything we wanted last year. I don't want to say that at the end of this year. I'll be honest with you, it's been a year, but it's hard for me to spit out last year's game. I can remember it vividly right here. I mean, I can remember us running a play right at the end of the ball game and almost getting it in, but it was a bunch of almost, and almost cost us a lot last year.
7 days to Monday night with Jim Fossil, no doubt in the locker room right now making adjustments. How do you stop the Eagle running game would be the priority. 9-3 Philly at the half.
Hello, Peter. You considered my offer? I'll give you power.
I've got power.
I'll give you riches. Riches.
I've got riches.
All right, I'll leave it back.
Now you can buy luxury without selling your soul. The 2003 Camry, the most irresistible Camry we've ever built.
I don't know if anyone's seeing this, but the key to this whole game is spaces and punctuation count. Don't count the first episode. Then, 5th place first, 9th first, 5th, 7th, 4th first, 2nd, 7th, 5th, and 2nd places in order. I'm gonna have to disappear for a while. We are all being manipulated. Keep up the fight. Good luck.
Fathers want their sons to be the best, and they'll do whatever it takes to show them the way.
Okay, that's what you were doing.
But sometimes even fathers need advice.
Does Max even like baseball? Well, he likes baking brownies in the shape of baseballs.
Hey, that's how I started.
All-star, all-new George Lopez, ABC Wednesday.
33 seasons on the air, and 2 weeks from tonight when Oakland is at Denver, it'll be the 500th Monday night of this series. And of course, we've been looking back at some of the great games. We've narrowed it to 5. Here's one of them, which was really partially Tuesday morning football. Since 2 years ago, it ended at 1:17 in the morning. Jets, Dolphins. Who can forget? It's the NFL's version of a big Broadway opening, because first place is on the line when the Miami Dolphins meet the New York Jets on ABC's Monday Night Football. It was a miracle at the Meadowlands tonight. Vinny Testaverde led one of the great comebacks in NFL history. Down 30-7 at the start of the 4th quarter, the Jets were suddenly only 7 points down. Going to the end zone. came right back with a big play of its own. Fiedler. And he's going for 6 into the end zone. It's wide open. It's Shepard. Touchdown, Miami. Then back came the Jets again. Fake to Martin. Then it's up. And it is juggled and caught by Jumbo Elliott. The Jets scored 30 points in the fourth quarter and beat the Dolphins in overtime, 40-37. Remember, you can decide which of these games is the greatest in Monday Night history. Log on to ESPN.com. The keyword is MNF or NFL.com. And vote now.
Everest, when we climbed it, was a tremendous challenge. We couldn't be sure that we were going to be successful.
The awe-inspiring new Forerunner with a powerful I-Force V8 engine, capable of following in the footsteps of the world's great adventurers.
The mountain always has the final say.
The Toyota Halftime Show, brought to you by Toyota. Get the feeling. We'll be back with the second half kickoff after this from our ABC stations.
If you think you've seen Gladiator, you haven't. Friday, ABC presents Gladiator, winner of 5 Academy Awards.
Today I saw a slave become more powerful than the Emperor of Rome.
With thrilling all-new scenes.
I will give them something they've never seen before.
Gladiator, on a special night, Friday, 9/8 Central on ABC. Viewer discretion advised.
I'm Gary Pop at Veterans Stadium. Coming up on Action News, live locker room interviews right after tonight's football game.
And I'm Rob Jennings. Also tonight, a youth sports coach faces charges. She had sex with one of her teenage charges.
I'm meteorologist Cecily Tynan. We have some cooler weather and some rain in the AccuWeather 5-day forecast.
And they're keeping a wary eye on Italy's Mount Etna after a spectacular eruption. All that and more on Action News right after the game tonight.
Impossible. Welcome to the 21st century, Mr. Mix-It. It's new Prestone Quick Fill Antifreeze.
Quick Fill?
It's perfectly pre-mixed for topping off, so you're guaranteed the right balance every single time. No more mixing, no more mess, and no more hassle. Better luck next time, sport.
She makes it look so easy.
It's already easy. I make it look good. Prestone Quick Fill Antifreeze. It's Prestone season made easy.
The eagle is leaving the nest.
Did you do it?
It's done.
Going to lunch.
If you're not offering your employees Independence Blue Cross, maybe you should.
Eagle Total Access, tonight on 6 ABC.
I came here tonight to hear the crowd go. Boom, shake, shake, shake the room. Boom, shake, shake, shake the room. Boom, shake, shake, shake the room. Tick, 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 boom. Yeah. Boom, shake, shake, shake the room. Boom, shake, shake, shake the room. Boom, shake, shake, shake the room. Break it on,
And back on this last Monday night in October, Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia. Al Michaels, John Madden, Melissa Stark, 9-3. Philadelphia with the Giants to receive. Delvin Joyce and Tim Carter are back. David Akers sending it north to south. Delvin Joyce from the 11. And Joyce brings it out past the 40-yard line, tackled at about the 44 by Michael Lewis. And let's check in with Melissa.
Well, I talked to Jim Fausel at the half, and he said, we want to run the ball in the second half. We just have to stay patient. And I asked him about Jeremy Shockey's unsportsmanlike conduct penalty, remember, that he had in the first half. And he said, I went up to him, I said, listen, I know you're a competitive guy, but knock it off. We can't have that. Defensively, he said, we're getting out of our lanes. We have to stay disciplined. And he echoed John's sentiments. He said, listen, this is a flip of our first game last year on Monday night, so that gives them hope. Remember, the Eagles won that one.
Well, they're very much in the game despite being dominated by Philadelphia in time of possession and in rushing as Tiki Barber gets taken down by Carlos Emmons. The numbers will reflect what Philadelphia has done.
Well, that big thing is that 245 yards rushing. Look at the time of possession, over 20 minutes, 195 yards rushing. I mean, it seems like, you know, they were able to move the ball up and down the field, but, you know, again, they got down there and something would happen, and they didn't get it in the end zone, and now the Giants have pretty good field position.
And that's knocked down. Collins' pass knocked down by Emmons, with the Giants trying to do something with that field position created by that run back by Joyce. 3rd and 10.
Yeah, 2 good plays in a row by Carlos Emmons there. First he made the tackle, then he knocked that one down. And this is, you know, as you were just saying, that the Giants needed field position. They finally get good field position, and then they get stuffed on a run. They try and pass and get it knocked down right at the line of scrimmage.
Collins is 4 of 11 for 44 yards. 3rd and 10. Eagles rush only 4, but that's enough. Collins throws it out of bounds. Intended for Amani Toomer. Hugh Douglas was putting on the backside pressure, and it's 4th down.
Yeah, you're right. And Kerry Collins got hit by Hugh Douglas just as he threw that ball. Luke Pettigrew had done a pretty good job in the first half, I think, against Hugh Douglas. Here he is right here, and you're going to see him just start on a bull rush. He just knocks Pettigrew right to his knees and comes back and hits Kerry Collins right after he throws it.
Classic bull rush. And it's dropped. It is dropped by Matt Allen, who's going to take off with it. And he's going to put his shoulder down and get a first down at the 42. So the Giants, who looked like they were going to have a disaster on their hands, all of a sudden get the biggest break of the night.
Only a punter could do something like that. He takes the ball. It was a perfect snap. It was right in his hands, and then he just drops it right in front of him. And again, this artificial turf, it'll take a bounce for you. And it bounces right back up. If that were grass, that thing could have wobbled away from him, bounced right back up into his hands, and he could see that first down marker and get the first down. I don't know about lowering your shoulder. He'll be talking about that for a week or so. He'll be in the training room for a week.
It was 4th and 10, and he got 13. So the Giants keep it from the 43-yard line. Collins off his back foot. Barber drops it. He could probably feel and hear Emmons, and then there's a flag down.
He had Dan Campbell. Campbell started in the backfield, and he ran through and then ran that. He had him wide open. There wasn't anyone within 10 yards of Campbell. Kerry Collins was looking to his right. Campbell was on his left.
And it's against the Giants, but then it's offsetting because you have a personal foul against the Eagles.
And sometimes you'll see something like that, you know, a Campbell being open and, you know, coming out of the backfield, and you come back to that play.
On the play. Holding, 77, offense, personal foul, 51, unnecessary roughness after the play. The penalties will offset replay first down.
Personal foul is on Emmons, and when Pettigrew, when he got bull rushed, I guess the next time around he figured I better hold him.
Yeah, this is the Emmons one. It looked like he was having his. Yep, it's always the first guy you don't see. I mean, that goes all the way back to grammar school, doesn't it? I didn't do it, you did it, he did it, he started it. Who started it? You never get the guy that started it.
Yep. 1st and 10. Tiki Barber. And he goes to the 30-yard line. Got him behind the fullback Stackhouse, picks up the first. Flag.
That was a good block by Jeremy Stockey. I don't think they can call that penalty on him. I mean, he was out there, and if they call holding on Jeremy Stockey, I don't know about that one, because he made a heck of a block.
Holding, 80, offense. During the run, 10-yard penalty,
was on Jeremy Shockey. But I watched him the whole play, and he's spread out here. You see, he comes in motion, and then he starts down here, and he has a good block, and he's just blocking right there. And he takes his guy to the ground, and because he went down there, it looks like it was a hold. I didn't think the whole way that was a hold. I think that's a pretty good block. And I thought it with my raw eyes, and then I think that as I watched the replay, I think it was a pretty good block.
We got Barber down. Whatever angle the officials saw it at, it looked like a hold, and that's the penalty. It's first down and 12 now, instead of a first down about 25 yards downfield. Now Shockey makes the catch, gets out of Emmons' grasp, and takes it to very close to the first down at the 33-yard line. It was first and 12.
And that's where Shockey is so good and is going to be so good. Is one, he has quickness and explosiveness to get open, and then after he catches the ball, you see, you can run him on a little 2-yard thing here, and then he can turn and run that ball upfield and bulldog it. And this guy can really be something special. I think he is something special, but I think he can really be something special.
In fact, he's so special, the Giants had him in their sights all the way in the draft, and the Giants almost never trade up in the draft, but they did it the last 2 years, one to get the corner Allen, and then in the last draft in April, and you can see Shockey is limping in, but they had to trade up, afraid that he was going to be taken off the board by the time they could get to the point where they could pick him.
And that was the right thing to do. I mean, they've been playing with Ike Hilliard out there and Amani Toomer and these types of guys, but they needed someone else, something else, another part to go with those guys, and Jeremy Shockey's the perfect guy.
He's the man in motion on second down and 9. And Collins throws it into the back of Mike Rosenthal, and a flag is down. Corey Simon put the heat on.
Can't throw it to your tackle.
Illegal touch. Question is, do they want the yardage or the down? It would be third down. Looks like Andy Reid is saying we'll take the yardage.
By an ineligible receiver on the offense, number 78. 5-yard penalty. Replay second down.
Speaking of Shockey, here's what Strahan said about him.
Jeremy brings attitude. He's not afraid of anybody, not afraid of anything. He says what he feels, and that's just it. And I think we respect that about him. That's one thing I like. Most rookies, when they come in, they're afraid. They don't even speak in the locker room, or they don't say anything to the papers. He just says what he feels, and if you don't like it, so be it. And I think we respect that attitude.
Giants on second and 13. Collins throwing, and that's incomplete. And then really paying the price is Hilliard. So much of a price is going to be a personal foul. Brian Dawkins leveled him, and Dawkins is down as well. And both training staffs come rushing out onto the field.
Brian Dawkins, one of the real hitters in this league, and you see Hilliard coming in. The ball is out in front of him. There's no way he had a chance to catch that. That wasn't one of those helmet to helmet. That was helmet to chest. I think the thing, though, that gets Brian Dawkins is that he ducks his head down. You see, and you always want to look and be able to see what you hit. I don't know that Brian Dawkins saw what he was hitting.
Yeah, that reminds me of that play with Leamon Evans in the Hall of Fame game, too, where he got his head down.
The receiver, it'll be a 15-yard penalty from the previous spot and a first down.
And that was one that ball was in a position that there was no way Hilliard was going to catch it.
Hilliard up, but Dawkins still down.
Oh, Steve, I don't think you should hang the bug zapper over the Bud Light. That's really tacky.
Yeah.
Great party. Thank you.
Yeah, this dip is fantastic.
Great. I love these crunchy things on top. Are they carrot seeds?
Yes.
I didn't put anything on the dip.
With a great taste that won't fill you up and never lets you down. Great party, guys.
Fun.
Make it a Bud Light.
I can't sleep, Mom. There are monsters in my closet.
I have an idea. There, honey. Feel safe?
Now the monsters are into the caravan.
No, they aren't. I'll show you.
Dodge Caravan. A feeling of security no matter what lies ahead.
Told you so.
Sure. Let's hide under the minivan. Great idea.
See Monsters, Inc. now on DVD and in the Dodge Caravan. Get a no extra charge portable DVD or VHS player with any new 2003 Caravan, plus Dodge's 770 powertrain limited warranty.
Another holiday on the credit card, huh?
Yeah, my balance is really piling up. But I'll worry about that in January.
You could get a Capital One no hassle card.
Nah.
High interest charges running up your balance? Get the Capital One No Hassle card for the nation's lowest long-term fixed rates, $0 fraud liability, no telemarketing.
What's in your wallet?
On Halloween, nothing scarier for a dad than his daughter's date.
I think you should wear a bikini and go as hot.
8 Simple Rules, Tuesday, 8, 7 Central on ABC.
About 30 seconds into that commercial, Dawkins got up. Some anxious moments here until he got up and then walked over to the bench. He's very angry because he got the penalty on the play. Meanwhile, Hilliard goes back to the locker room. Here's the play again. The personal foul is on Dawkins. He's out of the game, and the Giants have a 1st and 10 now at the 21-yard line, and Michael Lewis, a rookie, replaces Dawkins. Collins goes for the air and throws a flutter ball right on the money to Amani Toomer at the 14-yard line. Melissa, what's the story on Hilliard?
Well, Al, you saw him head into the locker room. He dislocated his right shoulder. They're doing x-rays in the locker room right now. We will keep you posted.
So Hilliard is out. Dawkins comes back in, and he's the key man in the Philly defense. Talking to Kerry Collins yesterday, he says it's the first thing I look at when I come to the line of scrimmage. Where's Dawkins?
Yeah, they have to know where Dawkins is because he's their best blitzer, their favorite blitzer, and even when he doesn't blitz, a blitz will come from his side.
2nd and 2, short drop, and Collins buys time. Slings it to the outside, wide open is the rookie Stackhouse, but he fumbles it into the end zone, and then it goes out of bounds for a touchback. He fumbled the ball at the 1-yard line, and when it rolls into the end zone and goes out of the end zone, it's a touchback.
Kerry Collins made a heck of a play on that. He looked like Donovan McNabb. He started, he scrambled a little, came off and gets it out to Stackhouse. But if you say, if he fumbles, if this ball goes out of bounds, then it would be the Giants' ball there. If it goes into the end zone, it's a touchback and comes out to the 20, and it's the Eagles' ball.
Exactly.
What Stackhouse here, he gets the ball, all he has to do is turn it up. He should have put it in his outside shoulder. See, he keeps the ball in his left hand. He should have switched the ball right after he catches it to his right hand. You see, he keeps it out there in the left, then he goes to take it out, and seeing that hit comes from that left side and knocks it out.
Jim Fossil doesn't hesitate to challenge calls, but there's nothing to challenge right there. That was clear and evident, and Stackhouse just fumbled the ball out of bounds, in the end zone out of bounds, as Goose Staley takes it to the 30. So what an ebb and flow on that series. I mean, here the Giants forced to punt, and then Allen drops the snap and picks up a 1st down, and then you have a personal foul on Dawkins, then you get inside the 5-yard line and you fumble